And we are back.
Time to shake off that rust. Let's go. Let's see what Horn's got up
We took a little hour break or so, so Sam can watch, what was it, a keynote thing?
There's a live letter for Final Fantasy XIV. I hope they were going to talk about Blue Mage, but then they talked about a bunch of other stuff. I don't know if I missed the Blue Mage stuff or they're going to it later, but I was like, okay, it's been long enough.
Yeah. Oops. I'm no good at dodging that, and I need to be in this specific fight because he's not even hard. No. It's just I'm rusty enough to be like, oh shit, like the.
You just go for like little hits on him. And
that's what I do. Yeah. It's just that right there. He follows it up with the chance to dash.
Yes.
Or the dash hit.
You got this.
Yeah, but when I come in with less health and stuff, it's problematic because there, it's a guaranteed hit if I don't get hit. But Nas was giving me a little trouble previously, so.
We'll talk about, let you concentrate. To talk more about other stuff about Marvel creators, I'm also a big fan of Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
So if you guys have never checked out
what did Jack Kirby do?
So Jack Kirby is one of the biggest creative. He's the king of comics. He's gotten that nickname because he created so many characters.
Comics as in, like we were talking about, like comic media, not
comic
comedy?
Yeah, comic books.
Okay, yeah.
He's one of the biggest creative forces, the biggest creative force. No one really comes close to Jack Kirby in terms of creating art.
Okay.
Fantastic Four, Iron Man. He designed the original Spider-Man, but it didn't. Steve Ditko ended up redesigning before the first issue because Jack's design just wasn't what Stan was looking for.
Okay.
Created the whole other gods in the DC universe, the new gods, like Darkseid, who's basically Thanos, but before Thanos. Thanos is actually a rip-off of Darkseid.
Well, I mean, doesn't a lot of comics kind of like...
Yeah, but this one in specifically, like, Thanos was created like 15 years or something like that after Darkseid, and their characters are very similar in terms of physical appearance, and even I think the artist said...
The butt chin or whatever?
It was a tribute to that character. And they wanted to do something equivalent. But
fucking Sly.
Jack Kirby, Fantastic Four, X-Men. He's just, and he created Steve Rogers back in the day, along with
Steve Rogers is shitty.
Steve Rogers is great. We disagree on that. I love Captain
Fantastic
America.
Four, right?
Yeah, Captain America, Fantastic Four. Pretty much everything in the 60s was either him or Steve Ditko for the most part.
Yeah.
Jack is considered the king of comics just because he created so much stuff, and people are always
Wait.
upset.
I'm sorry. I don't think I clarified earlier.
Yes.
I misspoke when I said, you said Steve Rogers or?
Yeah, Steve Rogers.
I was
Captain America.
Yeah, you're right. When you said it, I was like, wait a second, I made a mistake. Steve Rogers, Captain America.
Who are you thinking about?
I was thinking as the leader of Fantastic Four.
Reed Richards.
Reed Richards, there you go.
You don't like him?
No, I just think he's a weak character as portrayed in the media that I've seen.
Yes, and the media you've seen, which is the movies.
Wow, that fucking hit me all the way up there?
The movies that he's been in, the actor wasn't bad, but the script was really bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably not an accurate take based off of what people want to see, fans of it, you know?
So I'm trying to think of something equivalent that you've seen in terms of that character.
For Fantastic Four and Reed Richards?
To Reed Richards.
I heard he's amazing, but at the same time, every iteration that I've seen, which is locally and limited, and in the modern times, has been fucking terrible.
I'm trying to think
it's been parody-worthy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a popular character that would be equivalent to him. Think of Rick from Rick and Morty, but without being drunk.
Okay.
Being so smart that you're ahead of everybody. You see things leaps and bounds, and you see things that other people can't even possibly imagine. You can't treat them as the norm.
I will ask you this then, because I'm very fucking sick of like immensely perfect fucking characters, and I'm fucking up to fucking talking.
Reed is extremely flawed.
I was gonna ask, what are his flaws? What makes him a people's person? What makes him a viable thing to?
He's a really good family person. Like he really cares about his family, but he's so obsessed with his work, he just kind of loses touch a lot of times.
Okay, I get his character aspect.
He's so obsessive with his pursuit of knowledge, he tends to forget and not think of the humanity sometimes in it.
Okay.
He cares about human beings, and he's not completely disassociated.
Fuck me, man.
He forgets sometimes, like, hey, this is for the greater good, but he just sometimes forgets what's going on.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm focusing really hard because I'm
a really fun
I'm off
character.
kilter because we took the hour break between recordings. Yeah.
Reed's a very great character, but he's never gotten the great treatment in media, unfortunately. The movies were bad.
He always seems pompous.
He is. He seems more pompous than he is, and he
seems pompous rather than passionate. And Iron Man seems to put out probably what Reed Richards should be.
Yes.
Comparatively, where he's very passionate, where he's willing to give up like Pepper Potts because of his work, because he feels like it's so important, right? Is that kind of what Reed does?
Kind of. Reed is like Tony, but without the snarkiness.
Obviously, yeah. He's more family man, G-rated than anything.
He's smarter than Tony too.
Is he?
Yeah, he's much smarter.
Wait, is the difference between DC and Marvel, or are they both Marvel? I don't actually know. Okay.
Reed Richards is considered the smartest man in Marvel Comics.
Really?
Actually, no, Doctor Doom is considered the smartest, and Reed is tied with him.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And I think
they have like a dichotomy like Batman Joker?
No, yeah, Doctor Doom is Reed Richards' villain. They knew each other in college, and unfortunately, the movies have portrayed Doctor Doom really poorly. Try and be careful.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying, man. I don't have high hopes right now.
Okay, heal once now. Get out.
No. I got two in. I got two in.
So you got this.
I do. I'm stressing right now.
Doctor Doom is legitimately the greatest villain in comics, and he has been portrayed the worst.
Why is that?
He's just got such an. When you read the comics that he's in, and you see the animated shows that he's in, he controls the narrative.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah, but why is that? Is it because of he just happens to be that good, or like there's a difference I think between like portraying somebody who's that good and portraying it in a way that is beneficial to what the fuck they actually can do. And I don't have enough time to dream now, so I'm put into the situation. Yes, thank you. What I'm trying to say that I failed to say earlier is that I don't like when they write in, he's just the best. He's so good because he's just the best. It's like they wrote him that way. There's no physical thing telling me and convincing me that he's the best.
Dr. Doom's
I'm just
got
told
his
that
flaws
he is.
For sure, because he believes he's smarter than everybody. He will often make mistakes, and that's why he will fail.
Yeah.
Dr. Doom is just when he's written in the comics, he's just such an interesting character because he almost doesn't give a fuck. He knows that he has diplomatic immunity. He runs his own country. He's a king of it, and just the way he's written, like, yes, he's pompous, but he's written in a way that, man, I love that this character's just like, nah, fuck you guys, I'm gonna do what I want. And he's also smart enough that, and strong enough that he does what he wants half the time. And he's one of the characters that can take down pretty much anybody.
Because I don't have any context for it.
Yeah.
Just to say that he does that, that's like telling me, God is the best because he can do all these things. It's like, so what does he do with it? He shows that he's the best because he can do all these things. All right, so that sounds fucking stupid and boring.
The biggest thing is Dr. Doom isn't evil. He believes that the world would be better off if he was running.
Okay, that sounds like a good villain to me.
He's not a bad guy. He's not like, I want to kill everybody just for the sake of killing everybody.
He's not a one-dimensional villain.
I don't want to rule the universe just to rule the universe.
Fuck me.
He wants to rule it because he feels like he's the best suited to do that. Because he is so intelligent, and yes, his country, like, there's a scene in the comics I was listening to Rob Explains on YouTube. Great channel, by the way.
That's the guy who's like, hey guys, Rob here.
Yeah.
If you want to subscribe for more, if you want to listen to my sexy voice.
Yeah, if you want to.
I heard you listening to him the other day, and I like him too.
I love Rob. He's probably the best guy on YouTube in terms of describing comic arcs.
Yeah, he sounds like he knows his shit.
He knows
really
his shit,
fucking well.
And him and his team, they do such a great job of describing and creating videos.
Fuck that one up. No!
Also, his story of him just like living in poverty and finally being able to just have a nice life and own a house and not worrying about not being able to have clean clothes the next day.
Yeah.
He grew up in the most impoverished part of
I don't know if I heard that one.
That was recent because he was talking about why he's grateful for YouTube and stuff of that nature.
Okay. I don't know his backstory. Regardless, this story's not about him. Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless, I mean, he's great.
Go watch Rob. Is it Robert? It's film. is it Film Comics Explained or just Comics Explained?
Comics Explained, I believe it is. If you like comic books and want to know more about their history and everything,
or even like movies and
or
shit.
movies
Like he
and
does
stuff,
some of that too.
He's one of the best on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I love it because he's
one
very
of the best.
concise.
Yes.
He does go on like fan tangents.
A little
where he's
bit.
like, oh my god, like guys,
He's
like,
such a
I can't even.
fanboy, which is great.
Oh, don't hit me! Don't hit me! Oh, don't hit me!
Heal up for a little bit.
I tried. I hit the button and then it didn't react because I hit it too fast.
Just take her nice and slow.
I am. This is the point that I can heal. I'm not gonna go fucking crazy. Single hit.
So
there we go.
One scene from Doctor Doom that he was actually talking about, which is why I brought up Rob Explains, is someone said, "Why
hit me, damn it."
why are you eating first? Why are you having this lavish banquet? Why are you in this power and your subjects aren't eating as well? Why aren't they revolting and overthrowing you when you live this lavish lifestyle?"
Yeah.
And he just says, "I protect my people. I make sure that they're safe, secure, and they never have to worry about anyone hurting them in my country. And they know that I eat first for that very reason. I'm their protector. I am their king, and I make sure that they are not to be fucked with."
Oh, which hero are we talking about?
We're talking about Doctor Doom.
Oh,
because Doctor Doom.
Because you mentioned it earlier, and I don't know why I was thinking.
He's the king of Latvia, or like he's the ruler of Latvia, the dictator of Latvia. So from the outside, like you like, well, okay, some of the stuff he does is fucked up, but what he wants to do is he just thinks he knows better. He's got that god complex.
Well, he's got the complex of being smarter than most people, so he's not challenged often.
He's one of the first characters in comics. He's one of the first characters in comics to have that complexity, and he's kind of always been that way. And he's been, because he's just a human being with a power suit, like Iron Man.
Oh.
But I
thought that was him because of an accident or something like that.
Well, he got scarred, but that didn't give him superpowers. He's just a human being.
I thought he went through the same shit that the Fantastic Four went through. Oh, fuck!
That is completely different. He is just physically scarred. He was physically scarred.
Don't hit me! Fuck! Sorry.
He was physically scarred by Reed Richards when they were doing a lab experiment in college and disfigured him. And so he's always just been pissed at Reed for fucking up his life.
So Reed did it accidentally?
Accidentally. It wasn't on purpose, but
I figured not. They've always family man type thing.
They've always been rivals. So there's always been that.
I don't know why I fucking did that. I saw it in my head and I fucked it up. Sorry, guys. I'm having a off time since we took the break.
Yeah, probably a little too long, but
yeah, we'll go back into it.
Yeah, let's get back into it.
We'll go back into it. I'm gonna keep trying. This whole week is gonna be me trying this because we spent some time on it.
Because we want to give you guys content, but at the same time, we don't want to do montages. We don't want to do montages for a little bit. We want to give you some Hollow Knight content. Hopefully, you guys still like watching this.
Oh no, they fucking love it.
Yeah.
Don't you guys?
Hopefully.
Don't you guys? You love it. Oh boy. Oh buddy.
But yeah, I can't think of any specific ones, but there was one storyline not too long ago where Doctor Doom got the Cosmic Cube and he just reformatted all the universes together because
the Cosmic Cube is essentially in the most plebby sense.
It grants any wish, pretty much. It has so much cosmic power that it can reformat the universes. Anyone that holds it, their
they control reality and shit.
Yeah, will come back.
So it's essentially the gauntlet, but in the most basic sense of the word.
Cosmic cubes are created by.
Oh, there's cubes.
Yeah, so cubes. So like
some multiples.
I think I'm trying to remember. It's like some of the gods in the Marvel universe have created them. They're like a source of power.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel. In the MCU,
I thought the Cosmic Cube was DC.
It's Marvel.
Am I thinking of what cube am I thinking of?
DC has its own
or the something box, right?
Mother Box.
Mother Box.
So Mother
that's
Box,
what I'm thinking of.
Created by Jack Kirby, is it's different. So that's part of the new gods, which is Darkseid, High Father, and all that kind of stuff, along with Ryan. Steppenwolf, all those characters. They're the big bads in the DC universe. Mother Box, I'm trying to think of how to explain it. Yeah. Because I'm trying to remember all the terminology. It's been a while. I'm a little rusty, guys. So if I'm off, that's why. So there's like the source, and the source is like all knowledge in the universe.
Okay.
And the Mother Box allows them to communicate with it. It also allows them to make warp tubes, which allows them to teleport from one side of the universe to another. Basically open wormholes.
Yeah, I was gonna say warp tubes sound like a lot.
Yeah,
like
they
wormholes.
basically make wormholes. If you've seen the Justice League movie, that was when Steppenwolf came down and he took like all the different relics and whatever.
Correct me if I'm wrong though, but you said Marvel was Mother What you said?
Marvel is the Cosmic Cube.
Okay, that's where I'm getting
They
confused.
both have a bunch of cosmic stuff to them. They both have their cosmic.
I'm mistaking cube and box, and then when you said when Marvel did, you were saying when the Justice League did the Mother Box thing, I was like, wait, didn't you just say that the Cosmic Cube was DC?
Yeah.
Or the Mother Box was DC?
DC tends to have more, in their cosmic universe, they tend to have more Christian parallels to it. Like the Trinity and the Spectre and all those other things. And not that Marvel doesn't have that, but Marvel tends to take a more, kind of like Greek god almost aspect to it. Like with the Celestials, like it's more a pantheon. It's more a pantheon of gods versus a more select few, or like the one all-knowing and stuff of DC. DC's got so many different gods and whatnot. I'm forgetting because I can think of them in my head. Rob Explains actually has a really
go watch him.
He has great breakdowns on all of this stuff.
Or it's Comics Explained, right?
Comics Explained, and Rob Explains I think is his separate channel where he just does like minor videos every now and then about like, hey, this is me, this is my life type of deal. Get some backstory into him. But yeah, Doctor Doom's a fantastic character, and he was created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee back in the day. And he's like the Kingpin. He's like so many other great Marvel characters. When he is done right, he's the best villain in Marvel. And when you read good stories with him, like the one that came out not too long ago, which was Secret Wars, where he reformatted the universe, and there was a whole army of Thors from another universe that protected this giant gate that kept other things out, and you know, he's a very multifaceted character, which is what you want in a villain.
I get you.
But yeah, and it's unfortunate because Fantastic Four is ripe for being a great movie. If you like The Incredibles, you like the Fantastic Four. It's the same type of concept. It's Marvel's first family. It's all about that and how they relate to each other and how they're different and how they are a family. They're unlike any other group in the Marvel universe. The only thing that comes close is the X-Men. But the X-Men's more of a ragtag group of individuals.
Yeah.
Like they're a family, but you know, Reed and Sue are married and they have children.
Sue is
Sue Storm. She's Miss Invisible.
Okay,
Yeah, Invisible, whatever her name is. And then, you know, his best friend is Ben Grimm, who becomes the Thing. And then you have Johnny Storm, who is Sue's brother, and Reed's
I wasn't aware of any of that.
Yeah, so it's a whole family dynamic, and they're the first Marvel characters that got created.
What the fuck?
They started off
I jumped in and go
the
through,
Marvel universe. Like, yes, Steve Rogers was created, Captain America was back in the beginning with Human Torch and Namor, but that was before Marvel was even called Marvel. It was back, I think, when it was still called Timely Comics. Marvel didn't get the name change until, I believe, the late 50s. And the 60s is when the whole Marvel universe started, and the first thing that
once everything was grounded and they realized what they were trying to do.
Well, Stan talks about it a lot back in the day. They were doing a lot of comics. He thought about quitting for a while. He's like, man, we're writing all these like horror books and romance novels, and none of them are characters. None of them have depth to them. All these characters are they're flat. There's nothing interesting about them. I want to write human stories. I want to write about characters like Sherlock Holmes. I want to write flawed characters. I want to write characters that people can relate to, because everyone is flawed. And so when he got the chance, his wife said, hey, why don't you just write what you want? Like, if you're going to leave anyways, just write what you want, do this last book, and if it doesn't work out, then you can go do whatever you want to do, but give it one more shot.
What was that shot?
And that was the Fantastic Four, and that fucking flew off like gangbusters, and that led to Iron Man and Hulk and Spider-Man and everything that we know in the Marvel Universe. Everything that is popular was created in almost a 10-year span, which is insane to think that in 10 years, he basically changed pop culture forever.
True.
And it's him.
Well, really, at the time, though,
there's limited people.
I'm sure there was pop culture, because there's always pop culture. It's whatever's popular.
Right.
You know, but what was there to go against? You know, like.
But Marvel wasn't.
The market was prime for his takeover.
But DC was huge. So
not to ever say like, oh, what he did was unimportant.
No.
You know.
But Batman and Superman were so dominant at the time. Marvel was nobody. Marvel was just another comic publisher.
Didn't they have to sell off a bunch of their shit because?
So in the 90s, the comic meltdown or the comic bubble that popped.
The takeover of like DC type of like, oh, you can't say this or you can't have evil villains.
Well, that's the Comics Code Authority. The Comics Code Authority was established, I believe, in the 40s and lasted up until 60s. I might be getting the dates wrong, but the Comics Code Authority meant you had to go by strict bylines like drugs, sex, all those different references. You had to be very careful about what you said and stuff of that nature. But anyways, you know, they'd have to abide by those. But the comic bubble that happened that forced Marvel to sell a bunch of their properties was, so back when Jim Lee and Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, and what's his name? Rob Liefeld. So Rob Liefeld created Deadpool. Todd McFarlane created Spawn and did Spider-Man run in the 90s, and Jim Lee is famous for the X-Men designs that we all know and love from the 90s cartoon. He's responsible for those designs. They're like the big powerhouses in the 90s. But during their time period, companies like Marvel started realizing, oh, we can do variant covers. And at that time, people thought comics are worth a lot of money because you would see Superman #1 selling for thousands of dollars. Comics had a value, so collectors wanted them. And then publishers started noticing that. You know, DC started noticing that. Marvel started noticing. Marvel's new editor, I think Stan had just quit. Like, he just retired or whatever. He was, who knows, he was probably like 70, 60 at the time. So he was like, I'm retiring.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's variant covers? Is it literally the term of what a variant would be of a cover?
It's a variation.
I don't understand how it's important.
So it's still the same exact comic, but the cover is different.
So it's limited edition. They're holographic limited edition versions.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. They were different versions, but of the same comic. Which, in that aspect, you're like, oh, this makes them collectible. This makes them great. But they would print so much of it that it oversaturated the market.
Yeah.
And it devalued what the comics were actually worth. Okay. Because who the hell cares about the 12 different variant issues of X-Men #5?
When you say variant, this is obviously different from DC variant comics, or didn't they have a variant thing or
variant
something like
is
that?
a comic publisher.
That was the original, right? Or very early, like Superman wasn't even Superman. It was in variant comics or something like that?
No. Detective Comics is what it used to be called.
Okay.
And then it became DC Comics. That's why it got changed to DC.
I guess there's another term of variant that I think I'm misappropriating.
There is a variant in the comic book industry, but it's different. It's like it's a variant cover, so it's an alternate cover for the same comic book. And they printed so much of that out that eventually it oversaturated the market, and then all collectors stopped buying, so they were printing more than they could sell.
Yeah, they tried to create a monetary. They
did Guitar Hero. They kept pumping it out, thinking, hey, it doesn't matter.
Call of Duty.
Doesn't matter what the quality is. Sales will always be there, and then they weren't.
Well, yeah.
And
they weren't enough to satisfy the stockholders.
No, it wasn't enough.
Or the shareholders.
People started bailing, and eventually it led to Marvel going bankrupt. And what saved them was
selling off Spider-Man?
Selling off those movie rights to it. That's the only reason they got to stay afloat.
Okay. All right. You want to talk about this more next time?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting a little long in the tooth on this one.
Why not?
Yeah. We'll see you guys next time tomorrow. Beep bop boo.
Chilling in the bathtub, wishing it was warm here because it's freaking cold.
Splish splash.
In the bath.
I had to put on double socks because it's chilly in this house.
Yeah, I should probably put on double socks.
When I say chilly, it's pretty relative. It's like 62
it's relative.
degrees.
For you guys in the Midwest,
degrees.
it's like, but for us Cali boys, we're cold.
You want to be an optimal temperature.